I'm very thankful. I think there were a lot of people who understand and want to watch a film, which as far as I'm concerned, I'm very encouraged by the numbers. I'm very encouraged by the fact that we have this mind-boggling day collection. I have a big desire that there is a genre of films which needs to be introduced for the youngsters. So many people, like, when they release so many prints of my film, 900 films, it's 900 prints, I'm like, oh, it sounds like an international film. I find it very touching, very humbling, and I find it, I'm extremely grateful. I want to dedicate my life trying to entertain people in different ways possible. We never thought we'll make a sequel to it after we finished it 5-6 years back. But yeah, I would love to be able to get back into that world again, because it was very exciting making that one.
It has taken a long time, but the man is finally on Bollywood Hungama. A huge pleasure and honor to have you on Bollywood Hungama once again, Shahrukh Khan.
Thank you very much.
First of all, something about your association with Go Jiyo.
Yeah, I think it's a natural extension when we were doing a film like Ra.one, to talk about the digital world, and I think Go Jiyo is one of the first, if I'm not mistaken, and the largest social networking Indian site. Also a gaming site, all rolled into one, and a site where you are able to create avatars, live a second kind of life. And the association also related to Godrej because they're friends, and it was a kind of a natural extension that we should have something to do in terms of Ra.one, and they were kind enough to let us on board and carry it forth.
Something about the social media role in Ra.one.
I think it's becoming an important aspect of communication and information for us, as we all know. I mean, it's growing by leaps and bounds, and what is happening is that people want to interact more than just be informed now. So social media kind of fulfills that desire, or at least some kind of give and take, which can happen immediately and very fast now with these special outstanding speeds on the internet and on the telephones. So I think it's here to stay. It's something, as the world is getting smaller, people are getting further apart because everybody is busy with their lives. So somewhere down the line, to remain connected, I think social media becomes an important aspect of everybody's way of communicating and understanding each other.
Something about the huge response that Ra.one has got in terms of box office numbers, 25 crores in one day, which has never happened in the history of Indian cinema.
I'm very thankful. I think there were a lot of people who understand and want to watch a film which is related to, I have a big desire that there is a genre of films which needs to be introduced for the youngsters. And when I say youngsters, I mean the very young ones, starting from the age of 10, 11, 12 and going up to 20. I was bereft of it when I was growing up in India. I find that the rest of the world has really moved ahead as far as entertainment is concerned, in terms of social media, in terms of television, in terms of films. And we in India haven't really taken that step forward. We still stick to what we've been doing for years in terms of storytelling. And it's good. It's all right. I mean, I think I live off that. I've been doing that for 20 years. But I think it's time some of us made that attempt to cross over. And when you have numbers like what Ra.one did, I understand it's more than 200 crore plus now. You feel very heartened that there is a whole section of audience which would like to be entertained in a way like this. Of course, there are going to be always viewpoints like Ra.one had, and one can't deny that. I was expecting that. There are some ranging from fantastic to nasty, but it's all right. It's a different kind of a genre. It needs to be introduced and it needs to be encouraged. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm very encouraged by the numbers. I'm very encouraged by the fact that we have this mind-boggling day collections, and also it's there for everyone to see now, to be able to emulate that for bigger films.
You're saying 10 years and above. My daughter is 7 years. She loved the film, and her question is that when is the sequel to Ra.one coming up?
I don't know. See, like we're doing a film called Dawn 2 right now, and we never thought we'll make a sequel to it after we finished it 5-6 years back. So Ra.one is something. I have the technology now. I think we have this amazing set of technology in red chilies that we've been able to create over the last 8-9 years. It should not go to waste. It should not go to seed. Technology becomes obsolete. So I'd like to use it as fast as possible, whether it would be for another film which is related to Ra.one, which I would like to call Jeevan if I did that. That's the only thing I know. But it's a lot of hard work, a lot of inputs from a lot of people. I have taken a month off in terms of not wanting to think anything. But yeah, I would love to be able to get back into that world again, because it was very exciting making Ra.one.
We were there at the Dubai premiere of Ra.one, and the kind of response that you get from people all across, I think, was fantastic. The way we saw one girl, she was just desperately trying to get a photograph with you, and she just broke all the security cordon and just got across you. How do you feel when you get such kind of love?
Well, I'm really touched, especially youngsters who I think must have been really young when I started off, and I find it very touching, very humbling, and I find it. I'm extremely grateful, that I've been able to entertain people for the last 20 years, and I intend doing so for the next 30 years if I can manage. And I'm really humbled, and I feel a lot of love when this happens, and it keeps growing, and all around the world, and it also is a statement that our films are reaching far and wide now, and I want to dedicate my life trying to entertain people in different ways possible.
Ra.one is expected to get around 60 to 70 crores all across the world. Now, these kind of numbers have never happened in the history of Indian cinema. How do you feel that you have a certain amount of audience, which is expatriate audience? Many people not Asians, foreigners, Europeans, they love your movies. What do you attribute that to?
I think it's got to do with the fact that Indian films are making these these journeys, and I happen to be at the right place at the right time. Like I was in LA, I was in Toronto, I'm going to Dusseldorf today, and everywhere I go, Poland, people talk about Indian films, and I'm very fortunate that I happen to be part of most of them as an actor or a producer sometimes. So it's very heartening, and I think when we have this kind of market already being created, we need to keep expanding it. And when so many people when they release so many prints of my film, 900 films, it's 900 prints, I'm like, oh, it sounds like an international film. So we are on the threshold, and I think we need to make our filmmakers aware of it and make sure that we utilize this expansion in Indian films that is happening all over the world.
Thank you very much, Shahrukh Khan. Lovely to have you, and I must say that it's really feels very great to just see that an Indian doing the kind of response that you got at the way was fantastic. And thank you very much. Thanks.